Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something genuinely fascinating. We're going to look at an ecosystem that actually promises to take the daily, completely chaotic grind of building a business and transform it into a highly structured, almost scientific game. You know, if you've ever felt like success in business is just this messy, random collection of tips and tricks, well, you're absolutely going to love what we're unpacking today. It's a system called Juiced Up, and it aims to completely revolutionize how we visualize strategy.
So it all really kicks off with one massive foundational question. Is it actually possible to codify the grind? I mean, think about it. Can we take those super abstract business skills, those subtle mindset shifts and complex financial maneuvers, and literally break them down into a tangible, structured, and get this, collectible format? That is the exact challenge this entire system takes on. Now, to really grasp why this is such a game changer, just consider the contrast here. On one side, we have what pretty much dominates the internet today, right? Fluffy, empty motivation content. We all know the type. Sunsets with some generic quote plastered over it about working hard. But on the other side, we have a codified system for builders. It's basically the difference between someone just yelling work harder at you versus someone handing you a precise blueprint, telling you exactly which lever to pull and exactly when to pull it. Actually, the source material explicitly calls this out. Let me just read this quote directly. This isn't motivation content. It's a codified system for founders, resellers, and builders. That firmly establishes the practical, no-nonsense utility of this whole project. It's tailor-made for people who are actually in the trenches, making things happen, and who need a real, workable framework, not just another pep talk. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. The periodic table of hustle. Here is the magic number to remember, 138. Just like chemistry organizes the literal building blocks of the universe, this system uses 138 specific elements to organize the universe of business. It takes every core hustle principle, every strategy, every tactic, and maps them out as one of these collectible cards. It's honestly brilliant because it takes the massive, infinite complexity of the market and distills it down into a finite, perfectly understandable deck. And look at how mathematically precise this organization actually is. These 138 principles aren't just randomly thrown together. They're mathematically organized into 6 periods of mastery, 18 vertical groups, and 4 specific block types. By basically mimicking the actual periodic table of elements, it makes the daily grind completely visible, collectible, and, most importantly, stackable. Meaning, you can combine them to create compounding advantages in your own business. You can literally see how all these different skills connect to one another. Moving on to Section 2, Decoding the 5 Domains. So check out how these specific domains are anchored to scientific positions on the table. First up, you've got mindset, which is your absolute foundation over in the S block. Then money represents capital velocity, basically how fast you can multiply your cash, and that sits right there in the D block alongside tech, which is all about automation and data. After that, you have recovery for loss protocols and flip hacks for arbitrage, buying low to sell high over in the P block. It really gives a spatial, visual geography to what are usually really abstract concepts. Let's try to make this a bit more concrete. Say you draw a card from the tech domain, like comp check always. It occupies the element position of silicon, or SI, and it's designated as card HH009. The rule here is simple but absolutely crucial. Never buy blind, master comps to find undervalued gems. This is a perfect illustration of taking a vital real-world market application and turning it into a single, highly identifiable element for your toolkit. Or take a look at a really classic financial strategy from the money domain, asymmetric risk/reward. This one is positioned as platinum, card HH104. The core principle: risk a little to make a lot. Only take trades where the upside completely dwarfs the downside. What we're looking at here is high-level strategy perfectly codified into one stackable element. Honestly, if you want to build wealth, this is an element you absolutely must have in your deck. Let's jump to Section 3, Card Mechanics and AI. So, the whole ecosystem relies on 3 main mechanical pillars. First off, there are 4 rarity tiers, which really adds this fun, exciting layer of gamification and collectability. Second, we have what's called isotope stacking. Now, just like in actual chemistry, multiple variations of a card can share the exact same position on the table as an isotope. Think of it kind of like having different specialized versions of the exact same tool. And third, there's the JuiceBot AI, which serves up interactive per-card challenges to actually test your knowledge and how well you can apply that specific element in the real world.
Hey, for those of you who appreciate really robust tech under the hood, you're going to love this detail about the JuiceBot AI. This system utilizes a server-side proxy to keep API keys entirely off the client. In plain English, that means your sensitive data and credentials are locked away in a vault, totally safe from anyone trying to scrape them from the app. It's solid proof that this architecture wasn't just slapped together. It was built by and specifically for serious, security-conscious tech builders.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the ecosystem thrives on gamified scarcity. You've got a massive 99.9% standard pull rate, directly contrasted with this tiny, barely visible 0.1% slice representing the secret rate. Let me tell you, when you're hunting for elements to complete your table, pulling a card from that 0.1% tier isn't just lucky, it's an absolute event. It really drives engagement and makes the whole act of building out your business toolkit genuinely thrilling. So, what actually lives inside that ultra-rare 0.1% category? Well, things exactly like this. The Juice Box. This is a secret Juice Edition card from the money domain, sitting at position HH126, which represents Ringenium. Its definition is basically the absolute holy grail of wealth building, a secret, diversified portfolio of the highest quality assets that are never sold, only added to. It anchors that extreme scarcity to a highly coveted master-level business principle.
All right, section 4, the launch set drop.
So, what's actually available to builders right this second? Well, out of the 138 total cards that map out the entire universe of Hustle, there are exactly 27 image-verified launch cards available in this initial drop. Think of this as your starting block. It's the foundational set that lets you jump right in to begin collecting, learning, and stacking these principles immediately. But the absolute crucial point is how you actually use them. The system operates on this continuous 4-step gameplay loop: stack, flip, recover, grind. You stack your assets and your knowledge. You flip them for arbitrage or smart market plays. You recover effectively using those lost protocols when things inevitably go sideways. And then you grind to repeat the whole process. This isn't just some game. It's a direct reflection of reality, tying right back to the exact cycle you'll use to execute business plays and scale. Which brings us to the end of our explainer today and leaves us with a pretty critical question for you to consider. Which element of the hustle do you currently need to add to your deck? Are you maybe lacking in tech automation? Or do you need better loss protocols over in the recovery domain? The periodic table is laid out right in front of you. It's time to identify your strategic weak points, seek out those missing elements, and start building your ultimate system.